Hey guys, welcome to the Big Top with Austin, your monthly movie news podcast. I'm Austin, your host, and I'm joined by Carson, your co-host. We got a lot of interesting stuff to talk about this month. A lot of stuff happened. Like this is, I'm trying to think of like what's the max of topics that we talked about in one episode, and it's not even the three
Well,
hour one. It's not even the 3 hour. We just over talked in the 3 hour one.
I just
Uh,
want to point out that we could talk about 5,000 topics, but I really think this episode, based on everything I've seen, is like the Christmas of media. I really do. I think there's a lot of really good, interesting things, and I'm excited to talk about them tonight. So, and for our viewers and the people that are watching, we love your interaction and we love to hear what you think. So, always drop those comments.
Yes. Make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below for every single topic. Do not skip out, even the ones that you do not find interesting. Be like, that's stupid. All right, moving
If
on.
you don't like the topic, just disagree with Austin and just say the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I
Mm-hmm.
do. I'm just kidding.
Do that. Whatever I say is always right, and you're always wrong. But we're gonna move on to this first topic. We're just gonna hit you right in the gut with this one. Politics. It's lovely. We're
Oh gosh.
right out in the gate with politics. This kind of I try not to talk about politics on the channel unless it involves the movie realm. Because like I go see politic films. Like I went and saw The Apprentice, which is about the film about Trump and that stars Sebastian Stan. Pretty good movie. Um,
I thought
but
that was really interesting.
yeah, but I don't really talk about politics on here. I try to stay away from it. But this one is something that needs to be discussed that happened over the month and might have actually happened at the end of April. But Trump orders 100% on tariffs on foreign-made movies to save dying Hollywood. So this is not something that is official. This was just a tweet that he put out. So let's make that very clear. It's a dumb idea, but it's an idea. I think his intentions are in the right place because Hollywood has been dying for a very, very long time. And the next topic definitely will show that. But it's I don't think throwing tariffs on this on movies is the way to go about it. I think even the governor of California is saying like, well, we let's rethink about this real quick.
Sure.
Um, but but a lot of people were asking like, how would this work? And I didn't see anything else come out of this just yet throughout the whole entire month. But essentially what this would just simply do is just make the cost of buying equipment more expensive in other countries than here. And so it's like, so that just makes the budget more expensive, not the movie itself, because you can't really tariff a movie because that's what people were really confused about. So it would just go to the equipment of, say, if you try to film in not California, Canada, the equipment there, if you buy the equipment there, pretty much because it wouldn't be ideal to transfer equipment. Um, it would just cost a lot more for you
Hmm.
to do it there. And next, the tax incentives that Canada has would just practically mean nothing at that point to you. So, and that kind of brings me to my question. It's like, why not try to make it more affordable here for studios to film here? Because most places, because like, like, because most places like Georgia, California, New York, Texas, they give off like, tax incentives to try to get people to come and film there. Why not get more states to do that? I don't know. Well, I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? This is kind of, I think, more of your realm, I think.
Yeah, so good question. And I was actually looking up some stuff in the background while you were chatting because I was curious. So, a few things I find interesting. Um, Obviously, we know that is it a dying industry? I don't know. We've had a few really successful films in the last
It's a
few
hurting
years.
industry. Let's say that industry.
Sure. Sure. I think the hurting industry portion is that they're underpaying writers and quality content.
And
they
next,
make
they're
it seem
overpaying bad writers and bad actors.
well, or bad producers,
Yeah,
or you have $100 million budget and your main star is getting paid 30 million. Now, I've heard the argument said, well, people go see the movie because X person is in it or Y
not
person is
anymore.
in it.
Not anymore.
I just think that they can make a great movie with really good writing and a lot of diligence. So like we'll talk about this later on. I've seen a lot of really good movies as of late. Like I really liked Sinners. I thought Amateur was pretty good. I really enjoyed Warfare. I mean, some of those are not $300 million movies. You know what I
No,
mean?
but they
But
have
they
big name stars in it.
Correct, but they did a good job. Like the writing was good, the movies were entertaining. Like I actually felt like the movies that you were watching were really good, and so I think that's where I have a really big problem with this. Is um, from an unpolitical standpoint, tariffs have not always shown to be maybe. Yeah, they don't always get the result that you're looking for, which whatever. Besides the point. And on top of that, like just looking at from a perspective of how does it actually bring goodness to the industry, I think the argument is it a dying industry because people aren't going to the theaters, streaming content has massively changed how people, how these businesses do it. I mean, if anything, I think you'd be looking at different perspectives or different options to maybe fix it an alternate route.
One of the
So
things
eh,
that would fix this issue is managing your budget is the one thing that you need to start looking at is not giving movies $200 million budgets like Snow White does not need to be
I
a
knew you were going to bring up snow. I just knew that was coming. So everybody,
like
he paid me to tell. No, I'm just
yeah.
kidding.
Well, and what's funny that bringing up Snow White, you know that Leo and Stitch cost $100 million to make, but the problem with that movie, it was originally supposed to go to Disney Plus. So there's the issue with that, and the reason why the quality of that film is not that good. But
I haven't seen it. Is it good? Should I go see it?
it's inferior mostly to whatever the original one does. It just came out today when we're just recording this. But the thing is now because you give something a low budget doesn't mean it always will be good. It's just knowing which projects should get the big budgets. And something like Snow White definitely should not have been $200 million. That should have been like an 80 to $90 million film. Um,
It should have been a non-film in the first place because nobody asked for that.
but
But
see, the thing is, it would have been actually profitable off the money that it just made. So there's the
see, but
difference.
just because something's profitable
It
doesn't
doesn't
mean it
mean
should
it's
be
good.
done.
Well, it doesn't mean it should be done, or it doesn't mean it should be good. But my
I
point
mean,
being, you would have made money back from it if you didn't over budget it. And so
sure.
there's that. There's that
I
one
think
issue.
Disney would make Disney would make a movie about somebody's dying grandma if they thought that it meant that it would make them money. I mean, that's kind of how I see their company at this point. Is is nobody asked for a lot of the Star Wars and Marvel content that they did. Now, mind you, nobody asked for Andor. I actually remember people going, "Why the heck would I watch Andor? That's a non-character. Nobody cares." And now it's arguably turned out to be one of their most successful movie television series ever.
Yeah,
Sorry, not movie series, but television series ever, which leads into one of their best movie ever. So, eh, or sorry, one of their best Star Wars movies.
that's
So
from Disney. Um,
correct,
yeah,
correct. But I mean, even then, I would say Rogue One is probably one of my
it's
top
like
three.
yeah, it's like easily my top three favorite Star Wars
Sure,
movie. But it's like
but it's interesting. Sorry, I want to go back to this topic for a
no, you're
second,
good.
where he said we want movies made in America again.
Yes, I
A
agree.
lot of a lot of the ways that they're able to, you know, because I think about Lord of the Rings, where they filmed it in New Zealand,
Yeah.
right? Like that fit the realm,
Mm-hmm.
the woodland realm, or it fit the Shire, or it fit really well.
It's just
You
about
can't
making competition, and throwing tariffs on the competition is not the solution. And
no.
so,
You would just make it more competitive and more advantageous to make movies here.
yeah,
But I
And
think also
does this hurt foreign films? Does it hurt people trying to film outside of the U that aren't from the US? Like, what does that
for
really
sure.
do? And people are like asking, like, does this hurt independent films? I don't really, again, I think it goes back to the budgeting. If you really know how to budget something, you know where to put your money over something else. And so
Yeah.
a lot of the money would probably go more to the equipment and you'd have to pay the actors a little bit less. And in that I think
Mhm.
that's a good thing because then it's like, well, you're not because for example, like Dwayne Rock Johnson does not need $100 million for a movie. He just like you're paying like
You're paying for his name.
yeah, like so like I don't think an actor needs to be now if someone threw me $100 million, yes, I would take it. But it's throwing that aside.
You'd be in Snow White the sequel, and you'd be
Yeah,
Snow White for
I,
$1
I'd
million
I'd
or
be better.
$100 million or whatever.
I
Yeah.
I'll be a snowman. Mm,
I don't think that worked as well.
no,
Mm.
but
They
so
already have that. It's called Frosty. Just kidding.
I don't think it would really hurt independent films because independent films would just get non-name actors. It would make the equipment still expensive as hell,
See,
but
but here's the thing: if you have a film that doesn't have, or a studio that doesn't have the money and means that Disney or Amazon or wherever, and
sure.
now you're trying to film out of country, and now you have 100% tariff. I mean,
Well,
you're basically
what
you're
would the
causing less competition.
yeah. Well, what would really be the price of something on with 100% tariffs? What would be the
I mean,
cost?
it would depend on what the item is. So, like here, a good example I saw because I thought it was interesting, which I don't even
It
know.
could make people more creative with their limited budget too, with what shots that they need. Because like something like The Last of Us, even though I do like that show a lot, there's too many freaking exterior far frame shots like oh look how cool our shots are looking at Canada. It's like yes, that's cool shots. Can we get to the zombies? Can we get character development? But I don't
Well,
know.
I think kind of to wrap up this topic really well,
No, yeah.
Wes Anderson said it best. The tariff is interesting because I've never heard of 100% tariff before. I'm not an expert in the area of economics, but I feel that means he's saying he's going to take all the money and then do what with it? It's complicated to me. Can you hold up the movie in customs? It doesn't ship that way. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a it I don't want to say it's a service industry, but it's primarily the goods and services aren't something that are like physical and tangible. So do you hit the tariff when they come in at the box office?
Well,
And
yeah,
if it's a
that's the thing. Is like what are the tariffs hitting? And so we don't know. And again, this is not an actual thing that's happening. This is just an idea that he threw out. And hopefully this is not an idea that ends up happening instead of just but it creates other possible things that he could do to help the industry because this would just hurt it even more. This would not be good for anyone,
yeah,
especially independent. Well, even though I did say would it really hurt independent films? Not the ones that are not thinking. Again, I think if this does end up happening, that means you would really have to think about how you spend your money.
I agree.
But again, it just comes down to what is getting hit, and no one really knows what that
I
is.
think it's just I think it's bloviating and basically insinuating that yeah, we're going to save the movie industry by this whimsical tariff and hope that it does it. And it's difficult because I understand. I think the idea is good to
Hmm.
want to keep movie filmmaking here. Awesome. I agree. That's great. Amazing.
Yeah,
But is it really going to is it going to achieve the goal that you're actually setting out for? And I'm not sure that it will.
no.
So
So
it'll be interesting.
yeah,
You know,
let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. You know what's not a good idea? AI. I hate it. It's
physical media and AI. And just
oh
kidding.
no. So Google's Vio, I think that's how you say it. VO3 AI just launched like either yesterday or today, I think. Um and so this is something is like it's a subscription site where I forget the cost of it. It was like something around $200 a month, I think. I
Too
forget
expensive.
I
It's
forget the
around
price.
100. It's $125 USD per month. Can
Okay.
fully access all of the Google tools.
Yeah. So this is something where you can basically
I'm looking at it.
yeah,
I'm
where
curious how.
you type in like, a paragraph or so, and actually it will create this whatever story that you put out. And so and people are going in and pointing out like, "Oh, this is going to hurt. This is killing the industry." I'm going to say this. I don't think it looks that good. For one, because here would it really catch anyone's eye from who doesn't really that is just your normal person that looks at the TV every once in a while, they probably won't see a difference. But someone like me, I've seen plenty of AI videos, so I can basically look at it and be like, that's fake. And I would be able to tell you what looks off and how it looks way too smooth to be
Sure.
real.
Why it's distorted or,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it does look pretty close to being real. And so this thing that Google put out can also not only, make realistic images, it can voice, it can make sound. What was the other per selling points? I forget the selling points, but mostly, it will help voice act. Well, help. It would, create voice actors for you. It would basically create the story and pretty much a lot of things that will hurt the industry for bigger studios that are trying to cut corners. Now, I don't think we're at the place where we're going to see this being used to create film. We will probably see this where they will be using this for commercials or documentaries for like 10-second quick clips, because anything longer than that, you would probably, get into rough situations where the AI just starts going nuts. Because what the and people don't understand, and like the ones that are really freaking out, this takes the what how this is used. The AI takes things from what already exists, so it can't really create something new. It takes the I whatever we already have seen and puts it in its own form practically.
Sure.
And so we I don't think this would be get I don't think this would be used as crazy as people will think, but it is another step to that possibility if it goes any further. And we're on right now as like I think a voice actor strike. So this is definitely going to be something that's possibly going to be happening in that strike as well. Well, I think it's part of it already. Um,
Well, and I think rightfully so.
no, yeah.
Um, it, I think it's so stupid. Yeah, we
I
should
think
not
it's
be.
fine if it's like a 10-second clip for a commercial or if it's like a documentary. So it's like, say if you want to get a picture of something from the 1800s, I think that's fine. Like it's like a little quick thing. Even if YouTubers use this for like quick intros, I think that's fine. But when it comes to full production, taking away people's jobs for voice acting and,
Sure.
for if Disney started using this, I think we should, get our pitchforks and go outside of Disneyland and start.
Well, didn't Disney use it in Secret Invasion? Didn't they use it for
They did actually that, yeah, that intro, like,
the intro? Yeah,
yeah,
and that was a huge like no
big.
no.
I
Yeah.
I didn't really notice it, but when you do look at it, it's like that looks off. It doesn't look good. But yeah,
It also
like,
was just stupid.
well,
It's like you have that all that money.
that whole entire show is just bad anyway, so it works out. It's it fits for how how perfectly bad that show is. Um, but yeah,
I didn't.
like I don't know, like what are your whole entire thoughts on this? Like, is this like something? Well, has this tipped the what's the word I'm looking for? Or
The
has it
scales.
the
No, I'm just kidding.
scales? I don't know, something like that.
So here's the thing. I used to work with AI. I think in some cases AI is very useful as a tool in tandem with people. I think it helps maybe edit. review, give a different perspective. Um, what I don't like about AI is I don't think it should be used for anything creative. Um, I use it for like grocery shopping or like shopping lists
Yeah,
or
like
helping
something
to
a little
budget.
simple, not like
Yeah,
big
uh,
budget
yeah,
production stuff.
using using a AI model to basically create what a commercial should do. I think Coca-Cola made an AI commercial not long ago too. I think was it for the Super Bowl? It was I remember seeing it, and I remember looking and I was like, "That's creepy." Like it's
Yeah.
just it's not a
I mean,
creative.
like looking at these quick little images and videos from that Google uploaded, I'm
Yeah, it's
looking at these
creepy.
like these don't like you can tell that these aren't real. Like the way that the people are moving, and people, air quotes people, the way that the AI is moving in the video and how weirdly that they walk or like their head tilts and how they talk, it's like that's not how someone would really talk. And they're trying to push this as like this is the biggest thing. It's like, uh. I could I could tell that's fake. It's not as real as you think it is, but it looks real if it's just an image. But when you start making a move like that, it's like it's obviously fake. And so, but
Yeah, I'm like looking over the images and they just look stupid.
no,
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I don't know. I think that this is a mistake. And if they go the AI route, like why would we even need a movie studio when I could
well,
just
that's
say put Taylor Swift in a music video with, you
recreate
know,
Deadpool Wolverine with Taylor Swift.
yeah,
Like,
with Tom Holland as
yeah,
the Tom Holland as a woman. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like you could just make up anything
Well,
and
that and
then
like that brings like the next like kind of like thing that people are kind of talking about is like if this start to use as like in films, would there be two separate like categories for films for like AI and like organic films? Like because someone used this as like as a good example for like organic food, like how there's two separate now foods, like organic and what's there's like I I forget the word that the other word is, but like would we have one that like would we have these two separate films that are one made with AI and one that's made by a human and one would cost more than the other one and people and if and mostly the AI one would probably cost cheaper so people would pick that one over the organic film
see, I think I think they should have to disclose how much of it was used with.
AI like how they do with CGI.
Yeah, or like how you do with organic. Like you said, 30% of this is organic.
1% of
Um,
this movie was made with a human. It was made by me, the director.
I just think that that would be the best way to do it because otherwise, you know, you're going to unintentionally.
Well,
I don't want to go watch
would it
a
be a
movie that was
lawsuit
AI.
if you say that this is real, but it's
No,
really made with but really was made by AI? Wouldn't there be a lawsuit in that way?
I don't know. I would imagine that it
Because
would just be,
it'd be deception in a way to people.
yeah,
It's
I don't know.
it's like saying like, oh, this it's like talking about like Mission Impossible for Tom Cruise. Like Tom Cruise is saying like, oh yeah, these stunts are real. I was actually on an airplane and actually the studio comes out and says like, we made that in a lab. We made it on a green screen set. Like and but
I
like
don't know. That's the hard part.
they try to promote it as real, but then you find out it isn't. I don't know. Like I feel like there would be some form of lawsuit that they have to disclose. Like this is like there's some form of AI in this, and
Well,
so
I would think if you wanted to discourage that, you'd say I would tariff AI movies. I know it
yeah.
sounds weird, but like, okay, fine, you want to do it, then we're going to hate you with,
Well,
extra
this
fees
goes
or
against what Trump is trying to do, bring jobs. So yeah, it would make sense to throw tariffs on this if you want.
it would make more sense to stop job deletion by weirdo AI crap.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see.
The people
I'm
that
curious to
defend
see
this
how
be
they
like,
target.
what about that one person that has a job on making AI videos? Screw it.
You know what looks AI is Megan 2, Megan
Yeah.
2.0. I don't
Oh,
know
well,
why it looks like
uh,
they generated AI. weird dolls. It's strange.
Yeah. Well, this isn't a topic. I actually forgot to add this as a topic, but YouTube is striking AI trailers, like, created like, because they're deceptions from like,
The
because like they come out and say like they're the real thing, but really
Yeah,
when you
AI.
watch it, it's an AI video. And it's so YouTube is actually fighting against this, and which is weird because YouTube is owned by Google. So that's a strange thing.
I think I just think YouTube videos that use AI with like the AI voiceover,
If they say if it's like a
immediately,
fan,
immediately I just throw
yeah.
that out.
Well, if it says if it's a fan thing, then that's fine. Like a fan concept idea, that's fine. But when they try to come out and say like this is a real Mission Impossible trailer, check it out now, and it's like, and it's not, and if someone that isn't really well aware of AI looks at that, it's like, oh hey, look, the new Mission Impossible movie's out. Let's go see
Yeah,
it. Um,
yeah. I
that's
have
the
a hard
biggest
time.
issue I have with this. So, but I mean, yeah. Anything else you want to add on this matter?
No,
No.
I think that was what I
Okay.
was looking at. I just thought it was interesting. So,
Yeah.
um,
Let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. It's getting, it's weird, like, because like 2 years ago, like when we looked at AI videos, like like we could clearly look at these, like these are really bad and terrible. You remember the Will Smith ones where he's like eating biscotti or something like that? Like it was real, like those were really bad. And now we're
no,
at,
I haven't seen it.
you should look it up. They're really bad. Like they're funny, but they're bad. But yeah, like this is now we're getting to the point where like what are like now you're just destroying the economy. So I don't know. Let us know your guys' thoughts
Well,
in the
and it's
comments.
just stupid. Nobody wants to see. I'm sorry. I just don't want to see AI stuff.
Yeah,
So,
like that they we keep saying it, but they do the child thing where they put their fingers in their ear, go like, no, 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 listening. Type of deal. But yeah, let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below and on your thoughts on that. So moving on to this, I'm gonna let you take the round because this one you will have a fun time with
so,
because you have the other side of the story of this one. I didn't add it, but
so this one's interesting. So AMC theaters post sharply lower quarterly revenue. So fewer Hollywood tentpole releases hampered the mega exhibitor during the latest financial quarter. This is from the Hollywood Reporter. So the parent company of AMC recorded revenue of 862.5 million up till March 31st, which is down 9% from a year earlier. It also widened its loss to 202 million, down nearly 36% from a year ago. Um, excuse me, of 163.5 million.
hmm
So,
but
Dune
I
2,
thought
Kung Fu
movies were
Panda.
really good this year, guys. Why are we
Well,
losing money in revenue?
I mean, when you think about it, last year was Dune 2 and Kung Fu Panda. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Snow White was eh. So I think that there just weren't enough movies to make it.
I think the opposite. I think there's actually a lot of movies that came out, more movies that came out than last year. Um, but here's the thing: the quality isn't as good as last year. That's the problem. And so
I would think so as well. I think that there wasn't anything this year that made people go. I also think
marketing
inflationary
too.
pressures from tariffs. I think there's a lot of things where people don't have the money maybe to spend on films.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's also marketing. Like, movies that we notice, after we go see them, we go like, oh wait, there wasn't really that much marketing on those movies. Would the everyday person really know that there is a new, like movie from what's his name, that was in The Amateur? Why am I blanking on his name?
Rami Malek.
Yeah, Rami Malek. Because there was hardly any marketing for that movie, and that movie I think bombed.
I
Um,
Did it bomb? I actually thought it was decent. That's why it's
well, no,
confusing.
well, we're talking about quality and it making its money. So like I like the movie, but I don't think it made its money back because mostly I don't think people knew the movie was out. And so there that has a factor. We're kind of seeing it with Superman where the marketing hasn't really been there. Um I think that I think all that is all the studios' fault, and it also has other factors with tariffs and all that, of course. But now comes the real
So
question.
yeah, it lost. It looks like $20 million thus far.
Hmm.
Interesting. Hmm.
What the real question is, how can we bring people back to the theater? Not only just quality films. What can that's all the studios. Like that has to be done by the studios. What can the theaters do to bring people put their butts in the seats? Well,
Make
some
better movies.
that's not up to the theaters. Um,
Oh! I thought you meant. Um,
like
I mean,
the story that you sent me, which I also saw, but which AMC is doing.
oh, you mean
Uh,
where they've upgraded and made tickets cheaper? They're trying to get people. They're basically just
s-
trying to
they
drive demand.
didn't they make 30% off on Wednesday tickets sales?
I think it's 50%
50.
off
So
starting
that
at in July. But the question is that I think they're just trying to get people in the seats so that they spend
mhm.
money on popcorn and drinks and the things that have wider margin.
Well, that's a good start for AMC. Like I give
Yeah,
AMC a lot of crap.
but do they? What movies will people want to see?
Mission Impossible, Leo and
I
Stitch,
didn't see.
unfortunately.
I'm curious to see how Thunderbolts did because I haven't been paying attention.
I think it's at 400 right now.
Let's see.
Um,
That wouldn't be terrible. What was the
but
break even on that one?
I think it costs 200 to make, 150 around there. Um, so, but like, stuff like that, cutting prices down is a good start. If you look at some of the theater apps like AMC, Regal, Harkin, some of you guys won't know what Harkin is. That's more of like a West Coast thing. Um,
Hmm. It's
if you,
actually sad. Thunderbolts is the second lowest grossing MCU film ever.
yeah, I didn't expect that movie to make much, but I think it's made more than Captain America: Brave New World, though. I think. Has it? What's it
No,
at?
less.
It's made
It's at
less.
325 million. The only movie that it beat was The Marvels.
Well, it's not hard to beat. So
That's sad.
even Secret Wars as a movie would have beaten it. Um, but
Yikes.
but if you look at most of the apps of your theaters, most of the movies in August are releases. So that's a one thing that is a good start too. Whenever there's a dead month, re-release one of like, a lot of popular films. So um the theater I go to and I work at, we are showing during August is Titanic, Edge of Tomorrow, Edge of Tomorrow, Men in Black for its 25th anniversary. Uh, even oh, I forget. There's stuff like that. Like just show like a bunch of movies during a dead month to bring people to the theater to put people into the seats, and they would be cheaper prices since the movies have been out for years. Um, Even my theater has like Tuesday night classics, so they're showing movies like School of Rock, Jumanji. So uh, one of part of these movies that are part of these re-releases is like Transformers, Edge of Tomorrow, Titanic.
Edge of
Uh,
Tomorrow's an interesting one to release, but I like that.
yeah, like that's a really good movie. I think you'd get a bunch of people to come out and see that. Men in Black. So, like, stuff like that, I think is a good start to do.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I really liked as a kid was going to the summer movies where it was like 15
Oh,
bucks and
so
you got to see 10 movies or whatever.
yeah,
And they were always re-releases of like old movies. But it
though
was
they're
great
doing that
because,
still.
yeah, that's what I mean. I think they need to, I think that needs to be pushed even more, but
Hmm.
maybe with classic movies or maybe with, you know, uh, a Star Wars movie a week or,
Disney would be
rewatch the
like Disney. I
MCU.
don't know if Disney would go for that
Well,
because
they were okay with re-releasing Snow White, which nobody asked
oh
for.
yeah,
So
I forgot to make that a topic, but whatever. I
it's
think we're
more been
I
it's
think
more been
I
time.
think we were the only ones that made the joke on that re-release. I don't remember hearing anyone else saying like they should release Snow White as a joke.
Well,
Um,
that's because we were totally kidding, and we
Yeah.
thought nobody would be insane enough to do it.
So Disney
Um,
watches the channel, guys. Confirmed.
no, I think what happened was Disney wanted to try and make every last dollar that it could out of that horrible movie, and so it re-released it near Mother's Day, thinking that mothers would want to go see Snow White,
I don't think
which
I think that's actually I think that movie is actually the opposite of what mothers want, but whatever.
I it was terrible. But
Uh
no, how does AMC fix their stuff? I think it's continuing to focus in on quality content, providing experience, and then maybe getting better food offerings. I've noticed that AMC is definitely up their game with food, like adding the bar, etc.
well, at
I
least the
just
AMC that's near me is terrible. I don't like apparently AMC to everyone else is like, this a magical heaven. And I'm like, guys, AMC sucks.
the
Because the
one
most
the,
the
the
most
one I go to is great.
the one down there where you're at right now. Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
Yeah. Is very nice. It has an IMAX, the Dolby Digital Theater, the dine-in movie seats, and it's very clean and it's
Well,
always busy. Every movie I go to is very busy.
hmm. Well, the two
So at
that
least
I've
half
been
filled.
to here are garbage. Um, like they're just not very good. So, but yeah, like that, like even like what I forget what year. I think it was the year after the pandemic. You remember the $3 day, tickets day where everything was $3, even movie
I
tickets, and
do. That
like
is crazy.
that
That
was a
feels like
huge
forever ago.
that was a huge success for everyone, for theaters and studios. But the problem is the studios thought they lost money because they're like, well, see, if we sold ticket prices for $12 on that day, we would have made a lot more money. But the thing is, you wouldn't even made any money. You would have made less money if you did sell $12 instead of it for $3. Um, and so ever since that, since we ever did that, we never did it again because the studios didn't like that they made less money on that day when you would have actually made less money if you didn't make the change of $3. So like something like that they need to bring back too, because that
Sure.
was a huge hit for them. Yes, they didn't make as much as they would with $12, but the thing is the reason why you made money is because it wasn't $12. So stuff like that.
Supply and demand, the
Supply.
supply of seats, or excuse me, the demand of seats, because the supply is going to be the same. The demand for seats went up because they, lowered the price so that more people can afford it. So, um, no, definitely interesting. I'm curious to see how AMC responds. They're not going to keep being able to lose money like that. So
Hmm.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below of possible ideas that theater chains can do, and especially as us as the audience. It's also our job not to just say like go out to the theater willy-nilly, but it's like what is the important film to vote with our wallets and show that in the way to the studios like,
Nothing
hey,
Marvel. Just kidding.
Yeah, but like it's like, hey, these are the films we want. These are the good films. Don't stop making movies like Snow White. Um, so let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Now, this is very interesting. Warner Bros. Discovery is moving towards splitting the company. So that means like Warner Bros. HBO and Max will be under the same roof as Warner Bros. But everything else like Discovery and what else does was under that category. So they're basically they're not selling off part of the company. They're just allowing like them to be under their own roof and they'll have their own board. So companies like Discovery, CNN, not CNN, CNBC would be under that roof. I'm trying to find what the listing was for it. MSNBC. I don't know what that is. Food Network. So stuff like that. Um, which probably hints to why the name change in HBO Max all of a sudden back to it now because they tried to, that's the reason why they call it Max. They call it Max for originally because they had all these other stuff part of it, so they didn't want to call it just HBO Max. But now since none of that's probably gonna not gonna be part of it, they can call it HBO Max now. Um,
Terrible idea.
Does that mean that the price will go down then on the subscription?
No, it's probably going to go
Oh,
up. Everything will go
that's
up. Come on now.
oh
So, no, interesting. I don't have a lot on this topic just because it is a lot more numbers and whatnot. But
yeah,
I thought it was interesting. It recommended that even though they missed estimates for their last quarter, they've made a strong start to the second quarter with Sinners and a Minecraft movie.
definitely
Unsure
Minecraft
as to
movie.
why Minecraft movie is so successful. It makes no sense to me. But
Well, the
um,
generation that is going out to watch them are brain dead, so you can't like that. Yeah.
Chicken Jockey. Oh gosh. But
Don't you just gave me PTSD. Please don't.
Oh,
Um,
okay. I won't mention Chicken Jockey. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's very interesting to me that they've had two really strong films in the second quarter.
mhm.
I would be shocked to see if they didn't make a turnaround
I
just
think
from
they
those
have the
two
highest
films
grossing
alone.
films of the year so far, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Minecraft movies raked in about $900 million globally. That's kind of crazy.
Hmm. That's sad. Which hence why we get a movie later, which is a topic for later. So
Well, their TV news segment has fell 7%. CNN,
yeah, it seems like they're
Discovery
giving
Channel, and Animal Planet.
yeah, it seems like they're getting rid of all the cable type of channels that are
Yeah,
not working for
just
them.
get rid of the news. Nobody watches that anyway. Everybody goes
Yeah,
to TikTok now, apparently.
you know,
So,
that wouldn't be a bad. Well, actually, we should just get rid of TikTok too. But um, like
yeah,
we
we can
should
throw them all. MSNBC, Fox,
just get
CNN,
rid of. You know, who
TikTok,
needs? Let's just
throw them
go.
out.
Let's just go under one news channel and just
Yes,
determine what happens there. Just
yes.
become North
We can go to,
Korea.
let's go back to PBS. Just
Yes.
kidding. So,
Does PBS
but
still exist?
I have no idea. Half the time, I never know what's happening with PBS. Those were the TV shows on TV where I was like, I want to watch Arthur. And then I get stuck watching some PBS weirdo,
Yeah.
like way worse.
Barney's on. It's like, man, I don't want to watch this. I don't think Barney was on PBS, but um, yeah, like, and you know, this isn't a bad move for Warner Bros. Because the thing is, Warner Bros. Has been not doing so great in the financial realm, so it makes sense to split the company up and just let go whatever you don't want and keep what you do want, like the things that are working, like Max. Like Max is very successful for them. Like it's the
Hmm.
most successful thing that they've had. So makes sense. That's pretty much all I got to say on that.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic because, it's definitely news. I mean, considering breaking up a large movie, or excuse me, a large company like that is very fascinating.
Yeah,
Um,
but it's better than
uh,
just selling the company off.
that's
That's
true. Or selling it to Disney and then letting them ruin it. Too soon? Okay.
I'll just sell
Um,
I'll just sell it to Universal. I think they'll be better off at there.
I
And
agree.
next they can make a theme park out of it.
That's fine. They
Yeah.
already are making another one in the United
Then
Kingdom, so that's
then
good.
Epic Universe open like yesterday,
Yeah, the 22nd. I I heard that
today.
I heard that they really limited the number of people.
Probably
Um,
makes sense to do that for an
I
opening.
would have I would have done the same thing. They were sold out though, which is kudos to them. And I think they have 14 hotels or something crazy. So,
In the park? That's insane.
oh no, not in the park, like
Oh,
around their property. But kudos to Universal. Congratulations if any of you Universal people are watching. That's awesome.
yeah,
So,
that's I want to go to that theme park. I saw some photos of it. It looks pretty cool. Um,
I agree.
I'm hoping that it brings some competition down there in Florida for Disney World
I think it will.
to incite Disney to start actually thinking about to be more
To do a
creative.
better job.
Yes, I like that's I give Universal also crap with they're doing with How to Train Your Dragon, but I think I'm on Universal's team most of the time than Disney's team. So,
For sure. No, I
um,
agree.
but yeah, let us know your guys'
We're
thoughts
on the same page.
let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Let us know your guys' thoughts on this matter. It's a pretty straightforward matter. I think it's a good move for Warner Bros. Move on and leave. Let the past die, like Howard used to say. Um,
You're
bad way to
letting them
end on
know.
that. So
That was
staying
good.
on staying
Goodbye.
on
No, I'm just kidding.
Staying on Warner Bros. I guess realm. Superman dropped the trailer. I decided not to do a trailer reaction to this one because honestly, the hype for Superman has died for me. Even though I'm still holding out for the film
Really?
to be good, the marketing for this movie has been a letdown. It just it's not it's just I don't know what they're doing with the marketing.
Low expectations will let people like it more.
Maybe that's
I
why everyone likes
actually
everything now these days because they have no expectations. But like that's an A plus. Snow White's an A plus film. Yeah, it's like wow.
everyone, I promise Austin's not offending you. He's just giving his honest opinion from what he thinks is, right. What I will say is there was one portion of the of the preview that really stuck with me, and it was or trailer, excuse me,
Hmm.
preview trailer, whatever you want to call it. Um, and it was when the random civilian citizen is helping Superman.
Oh, out of the crater.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that to me is, I thought it was artistically very cool,
yeah.
and I
There's
very
good things
much
to take
enjoyed
away
it.
from the trailer.
Yeah, it reminded me of Spider-Man in Marvel when they're holding him on the train
Oh
after he's
yes,
trying to stop the train, and the random everyday person stands up for somebody that has all these powers or has all these responsibility. I very much enjoyed it. I
yeah.
am very excited for this trailer, and I think it's going to be really good. So
Well, like
I
I'm still hoping for this movie to be really good, but my
mhm.
excitement has died for the film because they haven't released any toys, and whatever toys they have released isn't very good. Um,
That's
and
fair.
the only marketing I've really seen has been from like for like restaurants, like I think they for DQ they did a marketing campaign for that. I don't care that for that stuff. Some people will get a kick out of that. I don't care about food marketing. That's not for me. But I want to see like hot toys, Funko Pops. Like that's the stuff I want to see. I think that will drive like seeing like a crypto Funko Pop. I think that would go well for the kids. And so like stuff like that. And like
I
you can
think so too.
clearly see in the trailer that they're using crypto as the selling point for the film to get put people in the seats like, oh, cute dog. I hope crypto doesn't die. Crypto's gonna die, guys. No, I'm kidding. I
Oh,
think
I
he
love
I
crypto.
think he does die in one of the comic books that this is based on. Um,
Don't don't make me upset. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, like I like the trailer. Like I like the opening with like this fake interview with Lois Lane and Superman with Clark Kent about like so you stepped into human fights and what did you do? I saved them type of deal. It's like and he's being and like they're people are being ungrateful for him for doing that.
Yeah.
And
I
so
think I think this is showing that this is going to be more than just I am Superman and I save you. I think
yeah,
he's really having to come to grips with,
it's a
even though
political
he's doing,
standpoint.
yeah, he's doing the right thing, it doesn't mean that he's going to be received well.
Hey guys, guess
So
what? Guess what had a political standpoint? Batman versus Superman. And a lot of people like that movie. I don't, but just want to point out how bad that movie
ah,
is.
you managed to bring it up again. It never ceases to amaze me that you bring it up. So
But it's just
good for you though.
but there's people that are complaining about how about this argument and how it feels very CVW and like there's always I'm not saying it's a perfect trailer, but some people are being a little bit ridiculous. I think the suit complaint is a fair complaint, I guess. It's not a great suit either, but there's some
Sure,
people that it's like it's not it's not a good enough trailer for them.
sure.
And it's like what are we really complaining about here? We and
I thought it was
so
good.
yeah.
My I'm gonna take my word and say it was like a 7.5, 8 out of 10, and it made me excited to continue to see it. Like I still have that same excitement from when I first saw it, and I think it'll be good. So
So let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Moving on, Stealing, Bean, and DC and Gunn stuff. Peacemaker season 2 teaser. I really do like the first Peacemaker season. I thought it was really good, and so I was very curious to see what they're going to do with this. Is like if it's going to be a retcon or continuation because it's a new universe and they're still doing season. I was very curious to see what they're going to do, and so it seems like it's still a continuation of the show of
mhm.
wherever it left off. It just seems like they're going to retcon tiny little things, which we all knew what they were probably gonna do. So like probably like the where the Justice League showed up at the end, like that's gonna be a retcon. And people are, at the end of the trailer, at the end of the teaser, people are thinking of like it's gonna be a multiverse type of deal. The reason like
Oh
maybe
gosh,
well,
not a
like I
multiverse.
don't think the whole season will be about multiverse because you have was it Isabel, I forget her full name, but Isabel as like Hawk Girl in the show. You
Hmm.
have Nathan Nolan in the show as well as Green Lantern. So like you have those characters from the Super James Gunn
For sure.
Superman in this show, but to explain some bits of how this is happening, they're maybe trying to somehow pull, I guess, Peacemaker from the other DC into this one. I don't know. I think it'd just be best if they just don't mention it at all. It's like it's actually been in this universe this whole entire time because there's been so little minor little things that were hinted at from the other DC in also in James Gunn's Suicide Squad and Peacemaker that it'd be easy like just don't think about it. It's whatever. We're in the James Gunn universe now.
And I think the first season was well received.
Yes.
So I'm excited because even if they have to make a few minute changes, I think good writing can really bring anybody to enjoy any superhero.
Hmm.
And so
And
I'm excited because
I
I
think
think this is going to be a success as well, especially
yeah.
for DC.
And I think John Cena is a better comedic actor than The Rock. So
I agree. I actually do agree with that
yeah,
statement.
I
Yeah.
actually I think I get more enjoyment out of seeing John Cena than The Rock. It's like, oh, right. Because
Well, I've seen The Rock in lots of things. I haven't seen John Cena
you
in
know what The Rock
anything.
is good at playing at as a Rock. Um, he would The Rock just he works he you know you could not mistake The Rock as AI. You know what? That would probably be the only good thing about AI. He would fit in perfectly in an AI movie. You wouldn't tell. It's like yeah,
Oh
that
my
acts like
gosh.
the as The Rock.
Dwayne
So
The Rock Johnson, if you're listening to this, I apologize in advance.
hey, I'm actually looking forward to one of your movies, the boxing movie that you're having with A24. I'm actually looking forward to.
Yeah,
Is it
A24
A24?
just,
I don't know.
oh, I if it is, I would not be shocked if it was so good.
I know he is working on with A24 on a movie. But I forget if the movie that he is about to come out with about this like this fighter is A24. I don't think it is A24. It might be mistaken. Let me look real quick. I think it is actually A24.
Yeah, the Smashing Machine and Breakthrough.
Yes.
Hmm.
Is it A24?
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
Hmm.
that's what I thought. So, he is seems like he is trying to, you know, actually act in some of these movies. So give him credit when it's earned. But Red One, you don't earn that. Let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Moving on to this, still
Uh,
Wonder Bros. Type of topics on Godzilla X Kong Supernova teaser. Not really much of a teaser, but I can guarantee this is my prediction of this movie. All right, you ready?
it has Godzilla in it.
I think Godzilla goes Supernova. Just a random
Really?
just a
I
random
thought
prediction.
Godzilla
I don't know what gives it away, but I think he
I
goes
thought
supernova.
Godzilla would be going shopping at the market.
He becomes a housewife for Kong.
Yeah,
No.
that would be a really bad movie. It was interesting. I was not impressed by the teaser.
Well, you don't
I
get
just want to
much
point
just
out
besides
though,
besides the trailer reveal. I'm just not a big fan of these movies, to be honest. Like I don't really care for them. I thought the last one was decent. It was better than most of them. Um, but these movies are just dumb. The only Godzilla film I actually really enjoyed was Godzilla Minus One, a movie
I
that
actually,
wasn't,
I really,
yeah, a movie that wasn't made by Warner Bros. And so, which I don't know, who was it released by Warner Bros? No, I don't think they were.
it's still, it still could be good. I think you have to be patient with it. Because I think, the Godzilla content that we've gotten recently, like the Netflix TV show,
I never finished
um,
it, but I was liking it. Yeah.
yeah. So. I enjoy
Uh,
it.
yeah.
So
That's kind of it. Like, I know a lot of people are big fans of these films. Is
huge
something
fans, very, very culty, and not a
Oh
bad
no.
way. They very much love them.
Yeah, like that whenever they show the monsters fighting, I can see why people like it. But whenever they cut back to Millie Bobby Brown being Millie Bobby Brown, I'm like, get out of here. Go back to Stranger Things. Go where you can't act again. Get lost in the void. Go
Not a
do
million.
go do the Electric State 2.
Oh, oh,
But this
that
time
movie,
but this time
brutal.
put it on Paramount Plus instead of Netflix. So then people have to go subscribe to Paramount Plus to go watch that terrible film. Um,
I don't
so
think they would.
exactly. It makes it even more better. So, but yeah, let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below.
Please do.
F1 dropped the main trailer. I'm really looking forward to this movie. I already have my tickets to the early IMAX screening that comes out
I think it's going to be a great IMAX
Monday.
film. Yeah,
Like, I never got to see Top Gun Maverick in IMAX. I wish I did. This would be the movie to see in IMAX. Like this is also Warner Bros, I think, isn't it?
I
Um,
thought it was Apple.
is it Apple?
It's Apple. Maybe it is with Warner Bros. If I'm,
They might be partners on it.
yeah, I'm
Distributor
excited for Javier Bardem.
Harvey or oh,
The he's the boss guy. He's great. No
yeah,
Country for Old Men.
he was in
He's
Pirates of the
such a,
Caribbean 6, 5,
oh
6,
gosh,
5.
how many of those are there?
I don't
A
know.
million?
He was in the last one, which
He's
he was one of the best things about that movie.
he is a great
That
actor. Oh
film
my
wasn't that good.
goodness.
Oh
He's
yeah,
gonna be good.
I like him too. I'm trying to figure out trying to figure out what studio made it.
He was in Skyfall. He was in, let's see, what
It's an
else did they?
Apple original that is partnered with Warner Bros. So
Okay, that's what I thought.
that's what I thought because I remember seeing this is going to be a really good year for Warner Bros. Like they're really even if the film is not that good like Minecraft, they're making a turnaround and I think it's time to give them credit. I'm curious to see how they do with Superman, but they're doing good. So I think this will be a fun movie. I don't Is this based on a real person or no? Is it just a or is it going to be a movie about like multiple like how they take real people and put it into one character?
I don't know. I was trying to figure it out. I think they're just trying to bring awareness to
F1 is.
what an F1 driver does. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a very popular sport. The trading cards are very popular. I think this was really well timed, especially with how popular the sport is and how it's been kind of
It's been getting
um,
really popular. Like
I mean, it already was popular, but I think it's become even more popular.
mhm.
So I'm excited because I think that that's really smart of them to do, and it's fantastic. I think that I think this is really going to be what kind of sets apart. Um,
Racing
you know,
films.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like good sports films, and I think this is a really good. I think this is a really good one. I'm
Yeah.
excited. So.
And it'd been funny if they hopped on like the video game adaptation side, like they just got so like they got went with like like the PlayStation production stuff and be like part of the Sony production PlayStation universe F1 adapt F1 video game adaptation that's based off a real sport. Honestly, nah, probably why not? It'd be one of the better PlayStation adaptations.
I agree as well. I
Until
definitely would.
But yes, so, and next they can make a sequel and call it F2, and next F3, and S4. So I don't know. Let us know your guys' thoughts in the comments section below. Are you guys looking for of F1, and would you want to see it become a sequel, IP? You know what shouldn't have been a franchise? Uh, Final Destination. I think I
I
just
was gonna
pissed off a
say,
lot of people, but
you know what should have been a franchise is the
Snow
Schneider
White.
cut of the Batman
Are
and
you trying to say Rebel Moon? No.
No, I was thinking Batman and Superman. We should have given Snyder more opportunity for more films.
We did. We gave them three, and they all sucked besides one. Um,
I think we should have given him six. And then we could have recruited Kathleen Kennedy to make it even better.
you know,
I
if
hear I hear she's gonna have time on her hands upcoming.
yeah, in August, James, if you need help, look at Kathleen. I know how, if you wanted to destroy a studio, she is very good at doing that. So there you go.
They're gonna be like, we need you to come and help make more live action Snow Whites. Um,
But you don't own the IP. Well, you can make live actions of DreamWorks films. Oh, okay. But yeah, so this is kind of a question of the like this is something new that we're doing for the episode is like, having like a big question, a question that'll probably frustrate a lot of people. Did the Final Destination IP needed to be a franchise? Which in general you can break that up into another question is like when like what is a IP that didn't need to be a franchise? And I think Final Destination is one of them. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed Final Destination Bloodlines.
really? Okay.
I liked the film, but my problem, I'm not going to get into spoilers of individual films. I mean, this I won't get into spoilers with Bloodlines. But I will kind of get into spoilers with the other ones because they've been out for like less than 14 years. I think if you really want to see Final Destination movie, you would have seen it by now. Um, they all feel the
Brothers going
same.
at it.
They all feel the same. I hate that because like I like in my movies to, especially if they're a franchise, is to evolve over time. And the Final Destination movies, I guess they figured out what their audiences are from the get-go. It's like they just want to see the people, because after each film they just became like Saw, where it's like, how can we up
I
outdo the
liked
last.
Saw.
Oh, well, the first one, yes. But like they tried to outdo the previous film, basically, and that's how Mission Impossible has turned out. It's like, what else stuff can we throw Tom Cruise in? What other what other dangerous things can he do? But
I actually
this,
think that they do a good job. I
well,
like
that's
Tom Cruise.
fine. Like, but at least the stories that they try to coop up feel different from one another. The Final Destination films all feel the same, and towards the end, it's like, what are you really rooting for when they all practically die? Besides um, one film, pretty much every Final Destination movie, either all the characters die, or if the ones that do survive, they die off screen, and that pisses me off in any form of movie. If you kill off a character off screen, I don't like, and I dislike your movie a lot from doing that. I find it to be terrible writing, and so
I think sometimes it can be done really well. Just depends
yeah.
on why. So
Well, the Final Destination movies did it. They kind of almost did it twice. The other one is kind of like only a special edition, so in my head, I don't count it as canon. I don't count special edition like releases or deleted scenes as canon. So those are just a little extra knowledge if they could have made it into the film. I guess in that way. But they did it. But the one that is canon, they killed off a character off screen who survived in the previous in one of the previous movies, and I'm like, why? And the reasons why is because they couldn't get the actor to come back to be in the film, and I'm like,
oh
well, that's stupid. Why would you? That's dumb. Like now you ruined your chance to ever bring the character back and the
yeah,
actor
that's really
back,
unfortunate.
and so
That
um
that's actually really bad.
yeah.
Hmm.
It was a dumb decision. So that's kind of like and and by the sixth film, it's like, what are we really doing? It's like if you're just going to keep doing the same thing, especially killing off the characters towards the end. I get that's the point of the films where, um, where like you can't escape death, you can't cheat death, but the whole point of the film is that you actually are able to cheat death, so why not have your character survive? If you want to kill them off in the next one, that's fine. Have some of the survivors from the previous film get killed off because death caught up to them. And and that's what we're told throughout these films, like, well, death caught up to the ones that did survive, but it's like you don't show us that. You don't have And so, and majority of these, when the film is introducing these new characters, at the beginning of the film, at which of all the sequels were being retold to these characters of like how to survive this and how this happens. Is like as the audience, like we already know this, but the problem is you keep killing off the characters from the previous film, so then we can't move on a lot quicker. So we're explaining things to these characters that don't know, and it's like, can we get to the point type of deal? And
Well, I
so
mean, I think that's part of the
it's
the
part.
the draw to it is that
Well,
it's different characters that are facing the same challenges.
I get that. That's fine, but bring someone from the previous film over to explain it in 5 minutes, and so you're not having this whole entire film of like explain for 30 minutes trying to figure out why this is happening, and it's like we already know why. Can we move it along a little bit quicker? And
Sure.
another way that you can evolve it a tiny bit is explain why these people get visions before their ultimate demise. Why does death suck in this universe? And why does these people get visions? Is that just like a little bit of an air for death? It's like he's getting ready to kill someone, and off in the distance he hears someone of like, "Oh my God, guys, we're gonna die!" And he's like, "God damn it! It happens every time." Why? It's like, why does death suck in this universe? So that's another thing.
I
Um,
I think the whole point though is to make it over exaggerating. Like it's almost so I don't want to say stupid, but it's a very cynical view of death. I don't know. I
yeah.
think that there's kind of a nuance to it and how they approach that topic of death and how they die or how they die off screen or how they change characters. So I
Well,
think that's part of the appeal
I
to the
know
film.
that's totally fine, and you got all of that from the first film, and that's my point where I'm trying to get at. The first film did that very well, and that's where it should have stopped. Is like you like that's because like these movies have shown they can't go anywhere else with the idea besides someone getting a vision and trying to escape death to just be realized that they can escape death. And so it's really, and so what becomes the gimmick of the film is like, okay, what's the next big thing that is the selling point of the film? This previous one was the tower of like, that's on all the posters. But get this, the tower of the in the film is only like there for like maybe 10 to 15 minutes of the film. So it's not really that's not something that is a huge selling point for me. And
No, that
so
makes sense. Hmm.
and I get and when watching all these films back to back, I'm like getting there, I'm like getting brain dead because I've heard these conversations 6 times now. I'm like, I get it. What else are you gonna add? Why, why do people get visions or something like that? I get you don't want to go too far explaining why people get visions, but it's like if you're not gonna add anything new to why things happen, then what's the point? And that's why it should have really just stayed with the first Final Destination, because the first Final Destination movie, it was actually really good. I actually really liked the first one a lot. There's a little bit of issues with it, but what made the first one really good is because of not really much of the acting, but the suspense in the film, how realistic, because like, all these certain events have to happen in a certain way for your death to happen. There's only one that's very supernatural where it involves a bathroom scene and Death tries to cover up his crime. And it's like Death, it's like, huh? It's like, why is Death covering up his crime? Is he worried that the police are gonna be like, it's foul play from Death that happened in this situation here. We gotta arrest this Death guy. And it's like it was kind of stupid. And the sequels become more like that, where it became more supernatural in that way, and more like why are we looking at photos to predict someone's death? That's like that doesn't make any sense. How's that a
Sure.
thing? So it should have really just stayed with the first one, because I actually do like the first one, and if they released it on 4K, I would own it by now. But
Oh
they
my
haven't.
gosh. But I'm sure they haven't because they don't release physical media.
Mm, no, no, they don't. So, but yeah, well, I mean, what your thoughts on this question? Or, or if you have a different franchise in mind that should have just stayed as one IP. because like I think the question is valid in like, does everything need to be a franchise? Does every IP need to be a franchise? And so
I would say it would depend on the popularity of the intellectual property itself. So I would say that you know what? Actually, I'll say this one. I think Karate Kid should have just been the one movie. I think it would have been better just to be Karate Kid by itself. Now, does that mean that I don't like some of the spin-off? You know, I like Cobra Kai. It's a silly, stupid show. Um, sure. I watched all of them. You know, we're gonna get that new movie that's coming out this year. So, can I say that I wish it would have been individual? No, but I think what made, I don't think anything will ever beat the first film. I really don't. It's just classic and it's so good. So let's see what other ones. Hmm, Shrek.
I think
I
Fast and
think
the Furious.
I think Shrek would have been good to just be one.
Hmm.
Fast and Furious, I liked the first five. After that, it was bad. But like Shrek 2 was really good, but like
And now
I
we're
don't know.
getting Shrek
I'm a
5.
I'm an OG Shrek guy, and I really like the first one.
Yeah.
So I think
Cars.
those are some films. Um, yeah, Cars 2 is Cars 3 was bad. I don't care what anybody
I would
said.
rather watch Cars 3 over Cars 2.
I would rather watch neither of them and just watch Cars. So, um,
But what if someone came and burned your DVD of Cars, and so you only had Cars 2 and Cars 3?
I would watch Lord of the Rings.
What if someone burned your Lord of the Rings?
I would have it streaming, so I wouldn't have to worry about
What if
physical
someone
media
canceled
being
your
burned.
streaming subscription?
They
Oh no.
can't. I have it. I have it through my internet service or through
Oh,
my
you're
cell
pirating?
phone
Oh, I
service.
see.
Hmm.
No. But yeah.
Most definitely, no. Um, no, if I had to pick a choice, I would probably watch Dora the Explorer instead.
Oh yes. They should. I'm waiting
Hmm.
for that sequel with you know what's funny? I just brought up Isabel from um uh James Gunn's Superman Peacemaker. She actually plays Dora Explorer in that live action movie.
I knew that I was going to bring it up for a good reason, so it was
Yeah.
perfect. Perfect timing.
I would want to see her in a sequel.
We do not want a sequel, everybody.
Oh,
No, thank you.
so then I can torture him with the film because I haven't tortured him yet with the first one. Um, but yeah, I don't.
It was on TV like a few weeks ago, and I was like, nope, not gonna watch that crap.
But you were just scrolling, it was on for a few seconds. You're like, oh God, no.
Yeah,
Um,
I know. I saw it on the guide TV guide, and I was like, and I am not gonna watch this.
no.
So
Dang it. But yeah, let us know. I probably pissed off a lot of people in the first 2 seconds of bringing up this
they're
question.
gonna turn off the show. They're gonna be mad.
Well, that's why I did it halfway mark, so then I got the viewership no matter what.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, terrible! Everybody, he's
trying to
terrible.
trying to milk them as much as I can, like
Oh my goodness.
how Disney milks my suffering with these all these Disney remakes. But yeah, let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below on either do you agree with the question of like did the Final Destination IP needed to be a franchise, or let us know your guys' thoughts on which movie IP out there that you thought shouldn't have been a franchise but is a franchise. So I don't know. Or maybe the other way around. What movie that you wish that was a franchise but wasn't a franchise? We'll have a conversation down below. You can have a lot of different fun ways with this question. So that's kind of the reason why I added it. But that was also something that was a question I had while I was doing my Final Destination review that I couldn't really bring up without dragging out the review. So, kind of fits in here. So now, speaking of reviews, this is the Carson segment where he is finally happy for me to shut up for once and he can talk. So I'm gonna let him do that.
I never said those words in
Oh,
particular. So you just described what you think I wanted you to say, or what I think, or what you think I thought, or what you think you thought I was thinking, but I'm
mm.
not. Um, so my review is going to be on Mission Impossible. Just so everybody knows, it is almost 3 o'clock here in wonderful Georgia. So I actually came back from a 10 p.m. screening. So this is very fresh in my mind. So I went and saw Mission Impossible. Um, First and foremost, very long movie, almost 3 hours. Um, I very much enjoyed it. Um, I'm gonna try not to give any spoilers, so I'm not gonna say anything. So I'll try and keep it really short, unlike the movie. I very much liked all of the actors that were in it. I thought they did an excellent job, a good balance of really tying in some of the previous movies and some of the things that we saw in the previous movies to now where Ethan Hunt is now. There was a really cool at the beginning of the film. It was really cool how they went through a lot of the footage from the previous films and put it in there. I thought it was so well done. The thing that I was not impressed by was a few of the action scenes, the pacing seemed really off. It was really weird, and I was almost going so fast that I like my eyes were like, what is happening? Like I'm trying to keep up, and then and it's weird because then all of a sudden we get to the point, and then it's this camera angle and it's this person looking at, and it just kept like switching around, and it was driving me crazy. But then about 30 minutes in, that kind of subsided, and on it really focused more on the mission.
Hmm.
Uh,
It really
one thing I
like
will
it
say,
felt like the first like 30 to 40 minutes felt like a different movie. It felt like it and actually turned into the Mission Impossible that we expected it to be. Like the one
yeah,
thing that I did not like about the film is all the flashbacks. I hated the flashbacks. They
oh,
had
I
no
thought
purpose.
yes, they did. The flashbacks were
Well,
good.
besides
It's
one,
it's
besides
it's
but the
tying in the movie. It's
well,
tying in the whole franchise to this one movie,
yeah.
saying that all of these things have led up to this point, and I really enjoyed that. Now, the thing that I would think was the worst was you're right, the first probably 20 or 30, 40 minutes felt like it was a different movie. Like it was different cinematography. It
It
was
felt
different
like
camera angles
rewrites.
shot, maybe rewrites. I don't know.
Or was the second half rewrites and they fixed the movie? I don't know. It could have been.
But here's the thing. Regardless, I think overarchingly, if we take out like the weird things in the beginning, I think it would have been a much better movie. They probably could have cut it down by about 15 minutes as well. Um, it is definitely Mission Impossible because everything's always counting down to zero,
Mhm.
last minute, the impossible happens, but some things you really have to suspend your belief because you're like,
Well,
how
if
did that
you're not,
happen?
well, if you're also not paying attention to the what the characters are saying, you're going to be lost in this movie. Like it's like the first one. Like if you're not really paying attention, because the movie doesn't. I don't think it over explains. I think it just, well, actually, it doesn't re-explain certain things. It just kind of goes on for way too long, and so you're kind of just sitting there like, okay, all right.
Hmm.
And it's like, can we get to the point a little bit quicker though? But there was one thing when it came to the flashbacks that I did not like. It was a connection to the first film with a character that we only had screen time with like very little, and it was supposed to be this tiny little fuse between Tom Cruise and one another, which I did not like. And I think you know what I'm talking
Oh,
about, right?
I thought it was fine. I
Well,
thought it was good.
it was just kind of random. I don't mind the idea of it, but it added no purpose to the film. And
I
so,
mean, I think I disagree, but I liked it. So, I would overarchingly say I would probably give it like an 8.5 out of 10.
yeah,
I thought it was solid. There's no end credit scene. That's not to say that I'm using a spoiler, but just for everybody's knowledge. So when they go to see it, um, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I would go see it again. I do plan on seeing it again, and we'll see what Tom Cruise brings us moving forward.
yeah.
So maybe he'll retire. Who knows?
Actually, there's an article. I didn't put it in, but he says he wants to do movies until he's 100. So, um,
Crazy. He's going to be doing
he's gonna do
his
Mission
stunts
Impossible 20, and
yeah, he'll be doing his stunts in the old person home.
put him
So
in Fast Furious 11. He'll make that movie real. He will make every stunt in that movie actually happen, and maybe
I
for
don't want
once
there to
there.
be any more Fast and Furious movies.
And maybe Fast and the Furious after Fast Five would be actually good. So,
You are right. Mm.
but yeah, I mean, like, it's a good movie. I don't think it's it's not, I don't, it's not even in my top five favorite Mission Impossible films, though. I don't think. I think I like
Mm,
Dead Reckoning more than this one.
I think I did too. That's
Eh,
fair.
But you know
Oops.
what's strange? This is the second highest rated film right now on Rotten Tomatoes from the audience. So that's clear. So it's clearly doing something right if the audience are really liking it. So
And I'm
uh,
telling you, it's because they did the fan service to all the films. So I
yeah,
thought it was good.
I think that's the thing I like the least about it is all the fan service. I don't mind one of the characters' tie-ins that had an involvement of where he lost his job, but like I don't mind that one. But there's a different tie-in that I didn't like, which I was like, okay, cool. Moving on, I guess. Oh, okay. Um, Speaking of that one person, the person that lost their job, they had when they did that review, like flashback reveal, I heard someone in the background go like, "Oh, that's that guy." I'm like, you couldn't recognize the guy that really? Okay. Um,
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That was just somebody that's not smart. So
so it clear it's the flashbacks feel like, hey, you're stupid. We need to put these here. Clearly, that's the case with that person. So, but I don't know. The first hour is weird. I don't think it's terrible like a lot of people say it is. Like from earlier reviews, like the first hour are bad. I'm like, it's not bad. It's just slow, and you have to really prepare yourself going into it to be expecting it. And actually, you would find it still a little jarring, but still good. And
mhm.
it pays off towards the end. I really like the final second half of the film. But yeah, any other reviews, or is that pretty much it? Yeah,
No, that was my only one because
that's
that was the
really.
one that I was most interested in.
Yeah.
So, also, the thought process was that we don't want to give up too much information.
Yeah.
We want people to see it and drop their comments. So,
If you want me
drop
to
your
spoil
comments up.
Leo and Stitch for you, I can do that.
That's
So
okay.
it does
No,
everything like the original, but besides a minor little changes. There you go. You don't have to go watch the movie. Um,
okay, good.
yeah.
You just saved me 2 hours. So, thank you,
S-
thank you.
Yeah. So let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below on Mission Impossible. Do you like the movie? Do you think how would you rank the Mission Impossible films? And here, I'll ask you guys this question. I saw this like little clip on either Instagram, I think. It was a very funny ranking. Rank your favorite Tom Cruise hairstyle. There you go. Um, Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Even rank your favorite stunt. That's also another ranking that you guys can do. We could have made that like a question for the podcast. But moving on. So, speaking of podcasts, do you guys think we could win awards? I think. So, the Golden Globes adds best broadcast podcast category for 2026 ceremony. Guys, we got to get on this list and win. We're the best podcasts. We talk about
Oh my gosh.
all the movie news. We make fun of Snow White. We tell Disney to re-release it, and they do, and it still bombs. Come on, what better way to win award off of that? But what are your thoughts on this? Like what? Because it's an out of nowhere type of category. Because for a Golden Globe, it's like you think of like movies and all of that, and it's like oh, best podcasts. Well,
So, here's the thing. I don't think, I don't know. I think everybody and their sister makes a podcast. Let's just be real. And so, for me, I think the overarching sentiment is this a needed category? I don't think so. No. I think there's a buttload of bad podcasts that nobody cares about.
yeah,
Um, if you do it for
we're
fun
not
because you
one
would
of them.
enjoy it,
We're the one of the good ones.
I just enjoy it. So, I think it's fun because we talk about things that we're interested in.
Yeah.
Some people just like hearing themselves talk, and I'm like, okay, don't care. So, I think that if you're interested in the topic, you have fun about it, you're passionate about it,
Hmm.
kudos to you. But there's a lot of people where they do random crap, and you're like, that could have been not a podcast.
Yeah.
So, um,
some
but
of it some of it's like what are you talking about, like what are you really talking about, and they don't really know. But
yeah.
so my question for this though is like how can you disclose someone as a winner in this category? How does the category work to winning this award? Like the most views, the most interesting topics, like what, like how does, like that's the big thing I'm very curious about this podcast. I don't think they ever explain it in this article because I don't remember if they do.
So here's the thing that I see, and it was saying that I'm having issues loading it because it was supposed to be popping up.
It's
So
loading a bunch of ads. That's the problem.
it says the award will include both audio and allow ads. Okay, no, don't allow ads. Nobody cares. I hate stupid things. No. Okay. It's nope, ignoring. I don't care about your ads. We'll include both audio and video podcasts and will spotlight work that has made a significant impact over the past year. The 25 most popular podcasts will be eligible with 6 9 finalist names. Among the 25 current are Jason Bateman, Sean Hayes, and Will Arnett. Call Her Daddy with Alex Cooper, The Joe Rogan Experience. Like, all these are so stupid. I'm sorry. I just think it's
Yeah.
dumb.
Well, like,
So
of course, those would be the categories. Like, those are the most watched, like, politically podcasts in the world.
that's it. I don't like any of them. I'm sorry. I just think they're all stupid.
Aren't most of those
So
political podcasts too?
I have no idea. I don't watch them. I wouldn't know because I
The
think
only
they're
one that
stupid.
recognizes is Joe Rogan.
Yeah, and he's really annoying. So no offense to everybody, but I just don't care. So
But we can be. Let's become the top 25 guys. Come on.
that's okay. I'd prefer
No,
not to win for being a podcast. Don't care.
you don't want an award.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. It's an interesting topic, I guess, but I'm just I'm more curious of like how that was going to work, and I guess it's just a random. The I don't. No one watches the Golden Globes. That's the thing, and so it's like they're trying to throw out random
That's what I
categories.
mean. You wouldn't care. Nobody would care. That's why I said nobody cares. So everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, I want a golden." Don't care.
Don't care. Just give Tom Cruise a stunt award, and we'll care.
That's I would be okay with that.
Yeah,
I am pro Tom Cruise stunt award.
yeah.
Kudos to him, especially at 60. So
65. Um,
is he
yeah,
that old?
yeah. He's like 65. He's coming up on 70. It's
Is he?
I'm pretty sure he's 65. If he's 60,
He's 62.
oh, okay.
So
So
kudos, Tom Cruise. Way to go.
he got 10 more Mission Impossible films in him. Um, but yeah, so let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Moving on to this. So this is just a rumor topic, so take this with a grain of salt. Rumor says Marvel TV shows will stop featuring major characters from the MCU movies. So what does this really mean though, if this is true? What's this? Let's just say this is true. What does that really mean? Does that mean that they don't get their own TV shows or they just won't appear in shows anymore either? I don't have a problem if they appear in shows, like, because it makes sense. It makes the world feel like they're connected and it makes the world feel a little bit more real if you have, like, say, I don't know, Doctor Strange show up in a Ironheart show because Ironheart needs help with some mystical arts or whatever. I don't know.
Well, I think the whole point is, if I was reading this correctly, and it's not loading again, my apologies. I have bad internet. Is the the cost is astronomical,
Oh, for
and
sure.
also some of them do have written stipulations that they'll only appear in a certain amount of projects or films or things, so it doesn't make sense for them to waste them on a
Uh,
TV show,
yeah.
honestly,
Well,
especially if the
they
show's not
need.
good.
Yeah. Well, they still need to pick and choose what show that is. But like, I don't mind. But like, I don't mind like a secondary character that is an MCU movie getting their own TV show. I think Hawkeye was a perfect character to get their own TV show because you're not going to give Hawkeye his own movie. No one's going to go out to the theater to see a Hawkeye movie.
I would see
I'm
a Hawkeye movie.
I okay, some people will go see a Hawkeye movie, but majority of
Thank you.
people won't go see a Hawkeye movie. Like that would unfortunately make less money than the Miss Marvel's films. I'm just sorry. Like that's just a true fact. It doesn't matter how big of an actor Jimmy Ritter is and how long he's been in the universe. It just wouldn't make money. So it really just depends on what it really means and how big the character is. And so it seems like it's saying major characters won't feature, but someone like, I don't know, uh Taskmaster. Oh wait, hold on. Uh
Oh, Taskmaster.
um uh
That was definitely a mention. You just had to drop that in there, didn't you?
whoops. I'm trying to think. I'm really trying to think of like a character that's been a, I don't know, you could take one of the characters from Internals. Everyone remembers the Internals, right? Give
Yeah,
one of those.
it's eternally one that I will remember.
Yeah, totally not forgotten. Um, take one of their characters and give them their own TV shows. I don't know. It's just I don't think cutting them off completely is not the option is the idea I think they should go with. This is more of like not giving, I don't know, Captain America, like Sam Wilson, his own TV show. Because the one thing that undermines Captain America: Brave New World is because most of the stuff that they did, they already did in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And if you really look at that movie, they continued some stuff from that show, which almost makes it feel like a season two turned into a movie. So it's just like, don't do stuff like that. Falcon and Winter Soldier, I is a show I did like, but to be honest, that should have been Captain America and Brave New World. Like that should have been the movie. But yeah. It kind of really depends. So what is your really thoughts on that? Like
Well,
what do they mean how far they go with it?
I mean, it really doesn't matter what I think. I think the overarching sentiment is it's too expensive to put high cost characters in these TV shows. We've lost hand over fist a lot of money in the streaming. They already know that they haven't beat Netflix. It was supposed to be competitive between the two.
Disney Plus
Disney knows
is more profitable than Netflix.
no, but in terms of content and ability to make content that
Oh,
people want
well,
to
yeah,
watch,
no, that's yeah,
nobody burns insurance like Netflix does.
no.
So I would say that they need to cut their losses on spending high amounts of money and focus on other projects that may kind of like how Netflix kind of has more, it has less sequely type, you know, stuff, and it has more like generic, this is
Hmm.
a onesie twosie movie that we wanted to talk about. So I just think that they just need to stop spending an absorbent amount of money, focus on the big characters being in the big movies, making the big bucks,
Hmm. But leave the
and
TV
writing
shows for
really
like
well.
Daredevil and all
Well,
that.
and I think this actually leads into the, I wanted to pair this with our next topic, and I'll explain
Yeah.
why.
Well, let us know
So,
your guys' thoughts on this down below, and we'll move on
and
to this. So yeah.
I'm excited for this one because I think this makes sense. So, Marvel's next two Avengers films were delayed.
Hmm.
So initially they were supposed to be out. It was supposed to be out on May
May f-
2nd,
yeah,
or excuse me.
so disappointed. It was gonna come out on my birthday, May 1st. Dang it, Marvel.
But here's the thing: they're reevaluating. Okay, we're not going to put big characters in our films. We're
Yeah,
not going to keep releasing 5,000 shows. We're not going to be doing. I would rather than delay it, get stuff right,
yeah,
and make
I
sure
know.
that the big gun people are in it. I mean, it's been pushed back quite a bit.
Isn't it
So I
going up
mean,
against now? I forget what comes out in December of 2027. It's a there. I think Shrek 5 comes out in 2027 of December. I
meh,
think.
I think either way, I don't think people have to really debate
So
those two. They're very different films, but I think the sentiment is if we get it right, we can have that same
it's
success that we had with
2026,
the
not
other,
25. So.
yeah, with the other Avengers movies. And I
Hmm.
think that they're very right. And so I think these two topics go together because they really underscore how Disney is really reevaluating how they do business
Hmm.
and whether or not what they were doing is actually a worthwhile. um
So, it would be going up against Shrek in December 2026. I just want to point that out. But two different
yeah,
demographics still. But
sure.
guess what also comes out that year too? Dune Messiah. Um, the same month and all that. So
It's going to be a good month for movies then, is what I'm hearing.
for sure, if nothing gets delayed. Um,
Or if it doesn't suck.
yeah. you have Spider-Man coming out before that in the same year. So maybe they're revalidating the film to have Spider-Man connect into it. So that makes more sense if that's going to be the case. Because I would like to have Spider-Man be a film that happens before Doomsday, then take place between Doomsday and Secret Wars, and have there be no connection between the films. And next oddly leading into Secret Wars. So that makes more sense. Um, if that's going to be the case with the film,
Yeah.
we don't know. But it just kind of sucks because I was kind of looking forward to even though I'm not too sure about the film, even though I haven't been enjoying Marvel lately, but it's still good to have it come out on my birthday. I enjoyed Thunderbolts on my birthday, so there's that.
They they heard that and they said no.
No, no. Now it's going to be a very busy Christmas. You think that's going to be a nightmare Christmas? Holy cow! But now now we also have to wait what 2 years for Secret Wars?
Hmm. I mean, yeah, it'll be 2 years in December.
Did they say why? I don't think anything in this article says why it got
No.
delayed.
But here's the thing, I don't think they need to say a reason. I
No.
think realistically, they know because they've gotten flack in the past for being very
Well,
lackadaisical.
it's also a Marvel film, and if this comes out to suck, this will hurt Marvel a lot. That's the thing.
I, I think it would change the MCU as we know it, honestly, because we would be almost another decade. It would have been almost a decade since Endgame came out, and they will have had no real success that is comparative, in my opinion.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, and
so
the Russo brothers need something good. I'm sorry, the Electric State is just garbage. Um,
oh, that was my favorite film of 2025.
oh well, put it on the list then. But yeah, so I don't know. Let us know your guys' thoughts on this.
Dropping.
It kind of sucks, but hey, at least we'll have Beyond the Spider-Verse and Secret Wars in the same year.
Don't remind me. I feel like I'm gonna be old. Just kidding.
Tom, wait, you at least think of this. You'd be younger than Tom Cruise still, so there you go. No,
I won't be
that
younger than his girlfriend. Just kidding. Jokes. That's Leonardo DiCaprio. Um,
what girlfriend?
it was a
Uh,
joke. It was I'm being funny. Okay.
I know,
Um,
but I don't remember Tom Cruise having a
I just
girlfriend.
wanna I'm gonna light you up for this. I'm gonna light you up for this topic for just a second.
Okay, go
So
for it.
the Zootopia 2 teaser release, is that even a teaser? They turned off the comments, which I thought was weird.
Did they
Why are you
really?
turning off? Yeah, they did. I mean, I don't think I
Were
saw
people giving
anything that
them
wasn't.
garbage?
Well, I didn't see what they were saying because the comments were turned off.
Oh,
But it literally looks like they took rehashed stuff from the first film and just put in the characters, and that was it.
yeah. It seems like they don't know what to show, and that
We know
seems like
nothing.
well, that's the thing. It seems like it's weird marketing standpoint from Disney because this is not the only time that we've seen weird marketing from Disney when it comes to like we don't want to show anything from our movie until you see the movie. It's a movie that just came out called Leo and Stitch. If you look at the marketing for that film, the marketing has nothing to do with the film. Stitch is just in the posters with other IP items like a lightsaber or a ball from Toy Story, and it's like we literally see nothing about the movie. And of course, when I watched the movie, it wasn't good. I'm curious to see the audience rating on the film. They probably gave it 100 because they're dumb. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness.
But it's just like it gives me the feeling like the film is either not ready to be shown what it is or they don't have trust in the film. And it also and that gives me a little bit also worries because we have a Pixar film coming out next month called Elo. Or is it called Elo? I don't know.
It's a weird that when I saw it, I was like, "What is that?" I don't
Yeah,
think I've never seen that.
this is a film that's been delayed for 2 years. And guess what? It just finished its production 2 weeks ago. It just finished its post production 2 weeks ago, and the film comes out next month on the 20th. And so, it like Disney, I don't know what they're doing, and Pixar, I don't think they have trust. I don't. I originally Elo. or whatever it's freaking called was supposed to go to Disney Plus, and I wouldn't be shocked if Zootopia 2 was originally supposed to go to Disney Plus. But since now that we're trying to get out of this Bob Chapek era, they're trying to go back to theatrical release. But the problem is that these films weren't made for theatrical release; they were made for streaming with the quality of streaming. And now we're just kind of just getting these garbage like Leo and Stitch because that was originally supposed to go to streaming.
Like I said, though, streaming isn't the way where they're going to make a boatload of money.
No, but it doesn't mean
First,
throw straight the DVD films into theaters. Why do you think we got a bunch of Disney straight to
I
DVD
don't,
films?
I don't think Lilo and Stitch is a straight to DVD film. It
No,
has enough.
not the original one, but this new one that came out felt straight to DVD.
There's no way that they would send something that's as popular as Lilo
Well,
and
no, of
Stitch
course they
straight to
won't,
DVD.
but originally, I'm telling you, originally it was supposed to go straight to streaming because there was a whole entire article on it. There was a whole entire topic on it. But you can look it up. But yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I like the first Zootopia. I think they could have interesting fun in this world. This is just a weird, like, hey guys, we're making Zootopia, remember? Type of trailer.
We, yes, I think that's what I got from it, especially because they're trying to make that Zootopia land and stuff.
Mm,
I was disappointed that that whole thing is dumb.
yeah.
I like literally watched it and I was like, why did you even include this? There's literally nothing. It
No,
made me feel like,
it just seems like you took off took the villain from Puss in Boots and put him in this one. It's like, oh, okay, so we're just stealing from better films now. Because that's what I got. That's what I saw from the hooded guy at the end of the teaser. It's like, oh, that's the wolf from Puss in Boots.
yeah.
So,
So
speaking of
that's
better trade, let us know your guys' thoughts in the script description in the comments section below. But speaking of better trailers, Jurassic World Rebirth dropped a second trailer. I
I
actually
saw it
like this
again.
trailer.
I saw it tonight
Yeah,
actually. Um, and I saw
I
it in the IMAX theater. It looked great. It really did. I actually went from being super skeptical to actually like, oh, this may actually be the film they should
good.
have come out with 10 years ago.
I like the first Jurassic World. I won't. I'm not.
Oh,
So
that's
it
fair.
the first one was actually nice and a refresher, but the sequels after that were garbage. This should have been the next film. But yeah, this is a like this became like the high like the my actual like I'm actually really hyped for this movie now because going in I'm like I don't know like I'm trying not to let the Jurassic fan of me like over be blinded by um like excitement, but it's like watching the second trailer, even though it kind of feels like I've already seen the whole entire movie, it looks like a ton of fun. It's like as if, there's a lot of dinosaur action. Yeah, at this point, forget about the story. Like, Jurassic stories have not been good since the second one. So you can throw that
I
out
was
the
gonna
window.
say I think only the first one ever was good.
So
Um,
it's like if as long as the movie has dinosaurs eating people, and if the little girl with the little freaking triceratops gets eaten, I'll be happy.
not gonna happen. They're gonna
No.
let her live. They don't
Especially
kill
the
kids in films.
especially the baby triceratops. I that's the only
I
thing I
thought
don't like is it's not a triceratops, but it reminds me of a triceratops. Um, but it's what they're trying to do is like the Grogu thing. It's like, oh, we gotta have a cute little thing to be part of the marketing. Here's a little cute dinosaur in a backpack, and it's like, really? Okay, cool. I guess you're trying to bring in kids for this movie that you're actually trying to make seem scary. I don't know why you wanted kids to go see
yeah,
it.
I don't even know why you'd bring your kids in the first place. These people are so stupid. So
Yeah, but hey, for a movie that was just made last year, the CGI actually looks pretty good.
I actually did think so as well. I think it'll be good.
So I don't know. I did a whole entire trailer reaction on this one. You guys can go check it out on the channel. Let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. I think this movie will hurt Superman because Superman comes out the weekend after. I think people will choose this film over Superman. So if it comes out to be good, it will Superman should be a little bit worried. Hey, Last of Us. Um, so I'm
Still
not.
not a huge fan.
I have not been a fan of season two, even though there's a lot of good things to take away from it. overall, season two has just been very, very cringe and very weird. Bella Ramsey's version of Ellie is not threatening. It's the season has been a mess. So, but speaking of that, they Catherine O'Hara has come out and revealed that they will focus on Abby's side of the story in season three, which was obvious from the get go. But now she has come out and confirmed that, which now after watching this season, it's gonna feel weird cutting over to Caitlin Denver and not see Bella Ramsey. It's gonna feel like a whole terror different show, even though I knew that that's what they were gonna do. Um,
Well, they kind of had to. They had to double down on that character
well,
because that's the direction they were going.
here's the thing, guys. You know what you can do more than seven freaking episodes. That's the problem with season two is just it feels way too short. They're rushing through a lot of things. TV shows are for some reason feel afraid to go more than 10 episodes because they feel like they're going to lose audience interest. I
I just want to point out that Andor went 12.
Yeah,
They're good.
it and Andor was afraid to go more than two seasons. I'm going to throw that in Andor's direction, shade direction. I think they could have done more stuff with that. But I think the reason why they did two seasons is because the guy that's in charge of that show takes a little bit. He takes a lot of time in trying to perfect what he's working on. So that's the reason why they combined all the stories into one season. But and
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they try and do that stuff. I think they need to like stick with we wrote a good script or we wrote a good story. We're gonna run with it and we're gonna give it time and the energy and the effort that it needs. So
Well, I think
the fact
also
that some
part
of
of it is
these,
because the actor was going to be way too old by the time he is supposed to be for Rogue One. That's part of it too. But you can also de-age him. Like he won't be that old. Like it's just like put a little bit dots on his face and make him look a little bit younger. But whatever. Disney's just like, well, we have billions of dollars, but we don't want to spend it.
well, they tried to de-age Hayden Christensen, and that was not good.
Maybe they learned the lessons. I have no idea. But that also brings it to the second half of the topic is that the showrunner says season four is necessary. Well, I hope so. It is necessary because it would be odd. Because what they would do in season three, because majority of season three, you're not going to see any form of Ellie. The only thing that you'll probably see of Ellie is probably in the background, hiding in the tree and the long grass, and
Well,
you see your big forehead. It's just
oh my gosh, you and her forehead. What is with you and her forehead?
so like the only time that you will see Ellie, besides that, you'll see her in probably the final episode between the confrontation between Abby and Ellie. And next season four will probably be the end part of part two. So what they're doing is splitting the second game into three parts, but yet it's still going to feel rush. And that's my
Yeah,
biggest problem with this show is that they are rushing through a lot of things and yet they either don't give yeah, I do like that the episodes are an hour long, but it's like if you're not going to give long episodes more than an hour long to flesh things really out, give them more episodes. Why are these episodes 9 to 7 episodes? What is the next season going to be 3 episodes? Like what is like how like this is
I mean, it's just artistic vision and how they're going to get through the game. So,
yeah.
um, I don't know. I'm not obviously. I don't watch it, and I'm not an expert. But I have heard people say that they didn't like it as much as the first season. So
No, it does things better that I think the first season didn't do, but it still has issues that I had with the first season where they were rushing through things. But then because they gave us a lot of action, they gave us a lot of infected. I'm like, okay, cool. But then they sacrifice all these cool things with bad writing. So we lost. So instead of continuing the slight good writing that we got from season one instead of we got the we so they had to sacrifice something if we're going to get fun action sequences. We're going to sacrifice the writing. And it's like, no, continue the good writing, but we just wanted a little bit more zombies that you didn't do in the first season. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, so we're just kind of just rushing through things. And I think season three, I'll be shocked if I like season three more than season two. It's just, that's the biggest. That's going to be the biggest turning points. That I think they will lose a lot of viewership in season three. And I think it will uh, it will feel odd that they are focusing on a completely different character, and the main lead is not even in the show at all until most likely the final episode. So
And
yeah.
I will not watch any of them. I'm just kidding. But really, though, I probably won't.
Yeah. But yeah, let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below on that matter. You don't really have anything else to say on that.
No, because I didn't watch it, and I don't think I have anything good to add.
That's fair.
So,
Moving on to our final topic of the episode. Elden Ring is getting a movie adaptation developed by A24. Like A24 is just dipping their feet in everything now. We got a um Death Stranding
and it's
movie out.
and it's Mr. Garland.
Yeah. Like we have a Death Stranding movie in the works. I think it's supposed to come out next year, or is it later this year? We have a second game that comes out this summer, but I'm curious when that Death Stranding movie comes out. So like they're just like, hey, you know what? Let's get in production with all these games. And so Elden Ring could be very interesting. I never finished the game. I only played like an hour of the game. So um I think it would probably a lot easier for people to digest that don't really are not really into RPGs. I don't know if this would be a good thing or bad thing because of how big the game is and how many stories that they are in the game, or it could it be like a Fallout situation where they can just basically pick and choose what is from the game but make their own character because it is kind of almost your own character like Fallout where it doesn't really matter the backstory of the character as long as the world feels like the world. I don't know. What is your thoughts on that?
So Elden Ring's interesting because I very much enjoy it. I didn't play the game, but I'm familiar with the gameplay, and it's an incredible game itself. What the question is, why? Why does this need to be a movie, or why does this need to be a show, or why does this need to have anything besides being a game? And the answer is obviously it has to be money. I
Hey,
think
it's
of
A24 though.
Yeah, I know, but still doesn't matter. It's
Mm.
doesn't make sense to me. For me, it's all a money grab. Like
I mean, when's not that
Borderlands,
money grand?
Borderlands was not done well. I think we can all agree on that, correct?
Well, yeah, yeah.
Bad. But then if you look at it like Fallout, I thought was really good. So I guess the question is what kind of quality are we going to get for this movie? Um, because if it's Borderlands, it's going to suck and it's going to ruin a really good. It's going to be
Well,
ruin a really good game.
Well, I can tell you right away, do not expect a lot of money being thrown into this budget and this to into this movie since it's A24. I don't maybe A24 might make this one of their bigger budget films because I think the highest budget film that they ever done is like 100 million, but maybe that'd be a good thing. Who knows? Um, that's the only thing that I'm a little bit worried, but I do like A24 movies and I know that they can whenever they put out something, majority of the time people do like their story quality. And so
Sure.
it's very interesting to see A24 go in this direction and it could help them a lot to get a little bit more well known. There are well known, but this could push them to be in the league of like Universal and Paramount and all of that. And it might and create a little bit more competition. They are becoming like one of the mainstream studios at this point. They might not have all the budget, but they are becoming like Lionsgate almost.
Yeah. Well,
And
they're
so
they're coming out with some solid projects and doing a really good job. So yeah, I've been impressed.
that's pretty much all we got to say on that. A lot of topics. I don't know how long this has been. It's been like 2 hours, a little over 2 hours. So, um, yeah, we went into a lot of topics. I think the longest one that we talked about on was probably,
It was your
uh,
intellectual property. I'm just kidding.
yes,
I have no idea.
it was probably the Trump thing and the AI thing that we dived into stuff. But majority, I think we pretty pretty kept the pacing pretty well on it. So I don't know. Let us know your guys' thoughts on all these topics. Anything else you want to mention topic wise that we didn't talk
All
about?
I'll say is there's some really good movies coming out. Go to see them. Utilize that AMC Wednesday night. I think it starts in July, and go see some good movies for a pretty solid price. I think that's a good idea. So
Yeah, starting at AMC. Probably the only way if I didn't, well, if I didn't work at a movie theater, that would be I would go to AMC for that.
for
But
sure,
not the AMC that's near me. I hate that one. But so anyway, yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. Make sure to go check us out on YouTube over at the review show. If you guys are listening to this on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, thank you guys very much for staying to the very end of these. And like always, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys.